Hey, what is up, everybody, and welcome back for another season of the Giveaway Show. I'm Carl's Collects Comics, and I'm excited that you're here hanging out with us tonight. I'm glad to welcome a new permanent panelist for this spring season. We've got a very special guest with us tonight to talk about Fan Expo New Orleans and hear that report. All that and more coming right up, including a stack of giveaway books, as you come to expect, and an upgraded, or not upgraded, but a new, fresh upgrade giveaway book that you can choose. Spider-Man number 13, direct edition. But we'll get into all that. Big shout out to our sponsor, one of our channel sponsors. Lone Star Heroes, Comics, and Toys. They're incredibly supportive and continue to help us make this show happen. So big shout out to them, and make sure that if you are in the greater Houston area that you check them out and one of their 3 locations, Galveston, Lake Jackson, or NASA. Plenty of stocked back issue bins. Lots of cool stuff. Hey, so we're going to be coming right back in just a moment, but thanks for being here for episode 98 of The Giveaway Show. All right. So, hey, we're going to be going over a couple of cool topics tonight, starting with a recap of the CGC Reholdergate scandal that broke over the Christmas holiday. We were not on to cover it as it unfolded, but several other channels did a really good job of covering it, and it looks like CGC has responded quite well. But we'll get to that. Next up, after that, we're going to be talking about Fan Expo New Orleans. This was this will be the first time that our this channel's covering that convention. 2 of the folks that went, Paul and Southern Comic Geek, are with us tonight. They're going to be talking about stuff they picked up, and just kind of the overall experience and the vibe of that convention. As you know, we've covered for I think 3 years now. We've covered Fan Expo Dallas, but it was exciting for us to be able to check out one of the other Fan Expo experiences, and by all accounts, it was a great one. Last but not least, we're going to be talking a little bit about adapted properties and where we see the future of those going. Some of them going well, some of them going not so well, but we're going to be talking about all that. And what is an adapted property? That means it's a property that started in another form of media other than comic books. Properties like G.I. Joe, Transformers, properties like Aliens, Predator, properties like King Kong, Godzilla. So they're all over the place in how they're being handled right now outside of comics, but we're going to take a look at how they're being handled in comics. So all that and more. But let me go ahead and do some shout outs real quick to those who are hanging out in the chat. Thank you to the almost 20 people that are hanging out with us at the start of the episode. I'm glad that you're here for episode number 98. Remember, 100 is right around the corner, plus some other cool reveals about the care packages from Carlos that you can receive for being a Dark Knight tier member of the channel. I might reveal a couple of those books tonight because I got a nice stack. It's going to be going out to our Dark Knight member from this first quarter. All right, let's see who we got here. We got Lizzie.pop5. It says thumbs up, please. Liz Barnes says, hey y'all, Team Paul. David Dodson saying saying howdy. David Dodson, I just got a couple books from Paul for you this past week. El Green Machine, what's up? He's dropping some Carlos Collects logos. Liz Barnes says, where is Billy? Billy is coming right up. Narrow, by a very narrow margin, he was kept safe in New Orleans. Primarily the timely intervention of our very own hero, Southern Comic Geek, who stopped Billy from being attacked by some ravenous fans, but we're going to hear about that later. Let's see, Billy for president. El Green Machine says, contract obligations to see. Apologies, everyone. Hashtag Team Paul. That's right. Yeah, we right up until the last minute. Took a lot to get Paul back. So let's see. Billy has a shady past. I don't know if he wants all that attention. Ooh, secrets revealed. Carlos DLR, what's up? Good to see you, buddy. Did anyone tell Carlos that we're here? Better let him know that we're here now. Yes. Jonathan Dotson, good to see you, buddy. Glad that you're hanging out with us as well tonight. Dagger Cards, what's up? Good to see you here as well. Let's see. Oh, hey, there's Geek Out with Roscoe. What's up, buddy? Y'all make sure and sub up Roscoe. They've started up a new season of Between the Lines. They're really cool drawing interview show. Ryan Riley is here saying, what's up, everybody? Let's see. There is Future Batman hanging out in the chat with us. Wait, that was I think that's multiple channels. Okay. Southern Comic Geek saying, what's up? He's also broadcasting on his YouTube channel and his Twitch as well. So y'all make sure and sub him up on those two platforms if you haven't already. Thiago, good evening, everyone. Andrew Kai, our brother from Down Under. Future Batman. Oh, drop some bats. I like that. That's cool. All right, what's up? Oh, and then there he is, Weapon X. Weapon X. Good old Weapon X. All right, so hey, let me go and bring out the panel. I'm going to start with introducing our new permanent member for the spring. Here he is, folks. Here's the Future Batman. Jen, say hi to everybody.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Oh God, here we go.
For having, so it's most likely a returning member, but I would love to be another host on here with Carlos. So let's have a great time tonight, guys. So we'll do that. Talk about some good stuff that's happened in the last 2-3 weeks. So
yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah.
All right, let's bring out. Let's bring out our special guest star for tonight's episode, Southern Comic Geek.
Boo.
Hey, you caught me off guard. I thought when you said special guest star, you were talking about Billy. Because it's great to have Billy here tonight. Everybody, hopefully everybody is doing great. Now recovered from the end of the year festivities and the first of the year festivities, and we are fast into this year and into the comic season. Got a lot of great topics tonight. Got some pretty decent, awesome guests and some decent ones too. But hey, smash that like button whether you're watching me on my channel or watching us on Carlos's channel. Either way, smash that like button, participate in the chat, and we're glad you're here. Let's have some fun.
Awesome. It's good to have you. And it's a special treat every time that Southern Comic Geek is on here with us. All right, well, here he is. You can hear him in the background being as rude as ever. All right, here's everybody's everybody's favorite troll, Paul Comics.
All right, appreciate y'all being here tonight. Me and Billy are back from New Orleans. We got the worst directions from Mississippi. Barely made it back, but me and Billy are here to give y'all the right, correct information. We're back. Happy New Year, everybody. And yeah, let's get started. Got a bunch of stuff about Fan Expo New Orleans. Right, Billy?
And we got somebody, a special guest. He's coming back. He's going to be joining us on a monthly rotation, but he's popping in tonight to help us kick off the new season. Here he is, a returning favorite, Mr. Collector.
Boo, boo.
First, I'd like to thank my hater, Paul. But no, great to see everyone. Great to be back. It's going to be a great year, guys. And hopefully everyone had a great holiday.
It was a great year.
Get ready. It was a great year. It's going to be a better year this year for everyone.
Look what we got to put up with now, Billy. We got our work cut off for us.
But yeah, I'm excited.
Good deal.
Short and simple.
Good deal. I'm glad you're able to jump on with us tonight, buddy. So one of the things is I've started to rotate the cast each semester or each kind of season because people life changes, work changes. Mr. Collector and Weapon X both have new jobs outside of the comic community, so it's been a big adjustment, and so giving them some freedom to be able to rebuild that routine, it's a big deal. I've had some of my own troubles with adjusting to it, to the new job that I started. Great job, but it just means that it changes up the dynamic of what we're able to do for the live stream. But I'm excited because we're here, we're hanging out, and we're going to get started with the first thing. Yeah, make sure to hit that like button. What's up, Phil Alien? Good to see you, buddy. All right, El Green Machine is shouting out Hollywood. He says, what's up? And big shout out to Weapon X, who's hanging out in the chat. And congratulations on his new job as well as Mr. Collectors. I know both of them. It's a good move for all the way around. So I'm
the contracts didn't get renewed.
Oh my gosh. Stop. See, this is how rumors get started.
Southern, you should have left them over there.
I know, yeah. Somehow
he almost left me over there with his wild ass.
Let me tell you, like, I tried to discontinue Paul's contract, and he just kept showing up. So
almost ran out of gas. The Carlos collects comics.
No, I'm teasing him. Paul's a mainstay. Paul's like the day one when it comes to the giveaway show. That I still remember that very first. I'm trying to find that clip so we can show it on the 100th episode. He rolled in his puffy jacket. His cap was like cocked perfectly to the side to show the attitude. He had this big old watch, like a huge watch with like bling and everything. And he came in and he kind of was like,
"Yeah,
all right, man, okay, we can get this thing started." It was literally me and him. And for the first 10 minutes, nobody watching us. We finally had like 2 people that I think stumbled on the channel and they watched it. But yeah,
I think somebody commented "Oh, I made a mistake. Sorry, guys."
Right, yeah. he was like, "Who are y'all?"
Wrong channel.
I mean, people are still like, "Who are y'all?" but yeah, that first one was rough, and even Paul was like, okay.
3 good nerds, man. That's so jacket.
The jacket. I need to find that because it was a jacket straight up. Like
Paul, you still got that Flolex?
Flolex? I ain't got it now.
He's got them Hair Jordans.
I had to. I went on my trip for Carlos Collects Comics, so I had to pawn it so I could make it.
He had to sell all his possessions. All right, so hey, as I give the cast time to start thinking about what they want to say about Reholdergate, because I know that's a hot topic. A lot of people have talked about it. It's still the bare end of it is still unfolding. We'll do a quick recap, and then we're going to let everybody do round robin, sharing their opinions and thoughts about it. And then a bigger question, because I don't want to just cover what happened, but is there anything that we as the comic community can do to help stop things like this from happening and going on for so long? Because it went for a while. It was, I think, over 350 books were impacted. So be thinking about that, cast. In the meantime, we're going to go and get started with our first giveaway, because that's right. We do an early bird giveaway. The book that I've got up here is New Mutants number 26. It's a direct. I'm calling it about a 6.5 to 7. But it is the first appearance of... Who knows it?
Legion.
Right. Yeah. Yep. So y'all saw the show. I think it was one of the better shows that was getting produced. But yeah, this is about a 6.5 to 7 direct copy of it. And then there, of course, is going to be a mystery book. All right. There's a mystery book you can choose, or this one, or you can pick the new upgrade giveaway book, which is Spider-Man number 13 direct.
That I'm also calling going to stay that long.
Calling this about like a 7.5 maybe.
McFarlane black suit.
Yep, the black suit. McFarlane back in black for Sub-City Part 1 of 2. All right, so we're going to go ahead. We're going to do that giveaway in just a moment here. I'm going to drop the hashtag that you want to be able to enter to win. All right. Let's see. Wait.
Which book do you want from the back wall right there, Billy? Oh, never mind. He coughed.
Oh my gosh! Can I have a moderator? Oh, that's on Twitch. That's coming through on Twitch. So we got a what do you call it? A bot on Twitch trying to get us to buy a membership to something.
Yeah, it's probably Mississippi's people.
Hey, so Carlos, Diego was asking, is the giveaway for U.S. residents only?
Yeah, so here's the deal with the giveaway books. we cover the first $16 in shipping on it. If you're outside of the lower 48 and it goes above 16, there's a couple things you can do. You can arrange to have it shipped to somebody in the U.S., or you can just wait and be a regular viewer. And a lot of regular viewers win multiple books. So then when we get to enough books where it makes it worthwhile, we'll cover the first 16. You can cover the rest, so we can get it shipped over to you. So a couple options for you. Make sure to message me on Instagram as @CarlosCollectsComics, or you can email carloscollectscomics@gmail.com, and we'll be able to discuss it and see what your specific situation is. Because we've had Canadian winners. I've shipped to Australia. I've shipped to Canada. I've shipped to Guatemala. So we have definitely done international shipping, but it's been different kinds of arrangements to help keep the shipping costs down for us. But yeah, we try to do as much as we can for our international viewers, because we do have quite a few of y'all. So that watch from all different corners of the globe, which is kind of cool. But yeah, you can hit me up about that, and we'll get you taken care of. So the hashtag you want to enter is #AmazingSouthern. This will be your chance to win this copy of the New Mutants number 26 in about a 6.5 to 7.0. It's the first appearance of Legion. Now, there's a lot of pressable defects on this book, and I'm ungrading it conservatively. So you'll probably get a nicer, if you press it, you'll get, okay, cool. So Thiago, if we have an offer from one of the panel to cover your shipping if you happen to win. And then if Paul wins, another member of the panel is going to cover his shipping. Very nice. Good. Thanks, guys.
What?
All
right, well, I don't know what's up with this hashtag Amazing Southern. Well, I tell you, man.
Uh-oh.
Somebody's trying.
Uh-oh. Not jealous, are you?
I'm just saying, man.
It's one of the 7 deadly sins, Carlos.
I
think he's
gave me
following
directions almost parked by the water. Please.
Wow. All right, let me.
I was going to park him down there in the French Quarter where he can meet some.
Oh man, I don't know what you're about to say, but I believe you.
Oh no, that was going left.
I totally believe it. Whatever you're about to say. What's up, Las Cruces?
Billy's like, nope.
Always shoots for free. There you go. All right. We're going to leave it up there for just a couple more minutes, and then we're going to run this first giveaway. You'll have a chance. The cool thing about the second giveaway of the night is that it's going to be all Spider-Man options. And so, because we had Ultimate Spider-Man #1 dropped this week as well. Awesome, fun little book. I've been a fan of the Ultimate books since the beginning. I picked up. This is not one of the giveaways. I picked up. I'll showcase this real quick. So this is not just Ultimate Spider-Man #1 is not just the first appearance of Peter and Mary Jane's kids, but it's also this variant cover is also the first cover appearance of the two kids. So I made sure to pick this one. I pre-ordered this one back when it was up for FOC. So got this, and then we will be doing another copy of Ultimate Spider-Man #1 is going to get given away at some point here. And then Transformers #4 came out this week as well. If you're not reading the Energon Universe books, you are missing out. They're fantastic. I just picked up and read Duke #1. Amazing. But here Transformers #4 came out.
Thank you, Who Dat. I appreciate that, Who Dat.
Shout out to our good buddy John Boy Myers, friend of the channel. He did a variant cover for Transformers #4 out this week. So shout out to him. Make sure you pick that up.
Make sure y'all reading that book, guys. Optimus Prime, man. It's messed up what he did to Optimus Prime.
It's a good series. Really good. And then Duke #1. Highly recommend this. Way better than I expected it to be.
They hang Optimus by the Ark. Man, that was not cool, man.
Stop doing spoilers. Stop it.
Spoilers.
You showed the book.
We don't. The alarm
cover.
thing is not even.
The cover.
Yeah, I know. The cover said it all.
All right. So we got enough. It looks like we got enough people that are up here, and so let's go ahead and bring that.
I just want to say, hit the like button, guys. Hashtag Amazing Southern. I don't know why you said that, but thank you, Who Dat. I appreciate that. The nice gesture, sir. Go ahead. You may go. Just wanted to let it-
Who Dat Comics and Movies. Check him out. Make sure and check his channel out. He also appears on Sands Collectibles channel.
They had half and half iced tea, man.
So Who Dat says Paul ate the Superdome burger. I'm not sure what that is.
I was asking them, I asked the guy, do you have an Astrodome burger? And he looked at me like I was crazy.
All right, here we go, folks. For the New Mutants or the Mystery Book or Spider-Man number 13 in 3, 2, 1. There we go. Good luck to everybody. All right, and let's see what we got here.
I just want to say Mississippi didn't take me no beignets, but Who Dat
Good
did.
Nerds. What's up, 3 Good Nerds? Congratulations.
Thank you, for taking me.
So the deal is 3 Good Nerds. Here's your choice.
Here we go.
You can take the New Mutants number 26. You can also choose, or you can choose the Mystery Book, or you can take the Spider-Man number 13. It's totally up to you. It's your choice. So you can take the New Mutants First Legion. You can take the Mystery Book, or you can take the Spider-Man.
He says he wants to see the Mystery Book, please.
Yeah. No, sorry. Not going to share it. Not going to share it with you. All right, the guys didn't even get to see these. I didn't show these. I didn't
yeah, we haven't seen these guys, but they've been good. Thank you, Comic Vet. Appreciate that. Oh, the New Mutants. He's gonna stay with it.
What's up, Comic Vet? Good to see you. Another one of our Canadian brethren. All right, what's up, Lucian Darth? Okay, 3 Good Nerds is going to take the New Mutants number 26. Congratulations on that. It's a great book to pick up right now. Because it's a great character. Wow. It's a lot of fun. So 3 Good Nerds, the way it's got to happen is you need to message me on Instagram or on or via email. It's at Carl's Collects Comics on Instagram or carlscollectscomics@gmail.com, and we will get you this book sent out ASAP. I have a huge stack of books going out this weekend, actually. A bunch of books going out. Some of you getting multiple books. So, all right, 3 Good Nerds, that is yours. Let's set that over here in the stack. All right, congratulations to you. Glad that you won, and yeah, lots of fun. All right, so let's bring out the rest of the panel and have y'all get started on this. I'll open it up for whoever wants to get started on. Well, first off, does anybody want to do just kind of a recap of Reholdergate and what happened there? Anybody?
Not everybody at once.
This is what happens every single time.
So as I understand it, and anybody on the panel or the chat, feel free to comment. But basically, it was discovered that there were some books that were being sent in for reholders, but come to find out, the books have been swapped out. So instead of a 9.8 or whatever Mark Jewelers, they were swapping them out for regular books. So you were not getting what you were supposed to be getting. It was discovered CGC didn't have like certain safeguards in place to catch when people had gone to those links to do those books. So now they're in the process of getting those books sent back in, credited, et cetera, trying to track down who was actually pulling the shenanigans. As fortune, if you will have it, I did run into somebody at Fan Expo that recognized me, and we stopped and chatted for a minute, and they had one of the ASM 300s that was shenanigan.
Wow.
So,
Oh wow.
Wow.
Dang.
Damn.
so
So were they
Wow.
going to go ahead and send it in?
yeah, so he's already been. It was a seller out of New York. He said that had done it, and of course, CGC and police authorities, whatever, will do track down all that kind of stuff. Hopefully, CGC will make things really good for the people that fail to prey to that. I think it would go a long way to kind of helping get their name back. At the end of the day, though, there's always going to be thieves out there, and there's always one
Yeah.
that's smarter than you. And the
Yeah.
main thing that you do when you make a mistake is to own up to it, fix it, and change. Put safeguards in place that it doesn't happen in the future. So
Yeah.
that's my synopsis.
Very cool. Yeah, that's pretty complete. I think the couple things is that to take note of when this started blowing up. I think it was Automatic Comics was the one who actually tracked down the first of the Hulk 181s, and then from there, Swaggle and some of the other bigger comic YouTubers started covering it, and it started gaining a lot of traction over the Christmas holiday. And CGC realized that they had identified a real scam that was taking place. CGC has released, I think, at least 3 statements to date. In the first, they acknowledged that it had happened. They said that they were working on building a list of books, that they were going to. They had hired their own legal counsel and outside private investigator to look at not just not just who stole it, so they could prosecute to the fullest extent of the law, but also they were going to investigate their own process and see how they could prevent it from happening again in the future. But like Southern said, there's always going to be crooks. There's always going to be somebody that thinks they need to try to beat the system, that they want to, cheat the system in order to get ahead financially. And, there's always going to be those people like that. But I'm glad, for my part, I'm glad CGC caught it. They then, in a subsequent release, they noted that there had been about 350 books that they'd identified, and then not long after, they released a complete list with all the certification numbers of all the books that had been impacted, and they said that they would they would cover acceptable fair loss. I forget the exact word, but it was something along like a reasonable amount of the difference in change in value, if there was a change in value. Like if somebody bought a 181 that they thought had the Marvel value stamp, but it didn't, and there's a price difference of like $2,000. But what it read was that CGC was going to cover that difference, which I think is huge, because Swaggle did a really good job of reading through what CGC actually guarantees, because they're the Collectibles Guarantee Corporation. And actually, all they guarantee is that the books have been inspected by at least 2 people, and the collectible that you sent in is the one that they are slabbing. So they actually don't guarantee anything else beyond that. So they legally were not on the hook for any financial losses suffered through this scam. But, to their credit, they went over and above. And I think it was largely a PR thing, because they did buy a lot of goodwill by doing this, because, they're going to cover, and it could be a lot of money. So, because these were not small books, and they were not low grades. So just a couple of things. So let's see. So rest of the panel, what do y'all think?
I agree with what Dotson said. I think in every collectible, if you can generate, like you and Southern said, money, then you're always going to have them type of issues with people trying to make the most to maximize. It's just a damn shame that they take a 252 newsstand out or the Mark Jeweler out and put a regular newsstand in 9.8, which is not getting that kind of money for that book, and then regrading the other book. So I mean, I hope they get the guy. That's not something you want to do, but I've worked in the industrial industry, and it's like if something happens, then you're gonna fix it. So they've been in business for a long time. Now that this has happened, I think it happened for a long time, and now people have reported it. Now they're changing in how they do stuff. But how Carlos was saying, they do the grading process, but the reholder is totally different story. The graders don't even see the book. I don't even think they see the book. I think it
Well,
goes
that was the problem before with the reholdering, and that's the little hole in their system that essentially they weren't going back and verifying that anything had been done. They're just sitting there going, okay, the case is cracked, whatever. Somebody wants to reholder it. It's easy money for us. Bim, bam, boom, and they're sending it on. So there was no real control issue, thing there. Going forward, I would imagine that if you're wanting to get your things reholdered, it's going to take longer.
Yeah. I think, and then that's what I was saying too. Like, it takes something to happen for them to change their already process that they're doing, and now they're saying, "Oh, this is a big mishap that's happening. Now we have to change and make new." Now they're going to go through it and make new rules. The graders may have to look at the book, verifying it, and all this that it is, but they have done mess ups before. Like I've sent in a Mark Jewelers and they didn't put it on the label. And I've heard that many a times. They don't put newsstand. They don't put whatever the case is on for the label to say. So I guess they're going to have to step it up and really just not let this happen again. But yeah, it's just messed up to the buyers who bought those big books, and man, I just hope that they get the guy. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. So the good news is they did catch it, or they caught the main guy. They haven't released whether or not there's additional people doing it. There probably are, and this is the unfortunate thing. It's just that if it's not like I think CGC did everything possible, but they're obviously going to be a target in situations like this where, again, a dishonest person decides they want to try to beat the system. CGC had a reholdering process that was as painless as possible. Like when a slab gets cracked or nicked on it, if you're a seller, you need to replace it because nobody's going to want to buy it. They're going to want to beat you up on the price. And it's, if it's a 9.8, it's still a 9.8, remains a 9.8, but you just need to get that plastic fixed on it. And so it was a fairly reasonable process, and I liked that they had it that way. But unfortunately now, like Paul said, because of somebody choosing to behave in this fashion, it's going to now impact everybody. Reholdering.
What I was saying, like, so you have a process you do, but now it's compromised. So now, like Southern was saying, they have to go back and reevaluate.
Yeah, they've got to change it.
Yeah, they have to change it.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, like, it's going to become.
This is a big mishap, right?
Harder. It's going to become harder to reholder books now. Yeah. It's going to become harder. And it's probably going to be more expensive.
I think there's going to be a seal. You know how you have those seals that you can void, some kind of sticker on the side or whatever. That if it breaks, it's going to be voided. That you'll have to regrade.
Yeah. So So Tony Stank is asking. So would they reholder a cracked case without any questions asked? What they would do is they would inspect the inner well, and so the inner well. I have one of them around here that was it was just like a joke thing that we kept around. I still have it.
I think it's behind the microphone on the bottom shelf right there.
It's inner. Yeah, you're right. It is.
Yep.
Are y'all amazed that he knew that?
I remember because I was up there.
It's not actually back there. It's not. But no. What they would do is they would inspect the inner well, which is the plastic that's heat sealed around the comic book itself, and used to be attached to the grading label. But they would inspect that, and if there was any damage to it, then they would, at their discretion, at the grader's discretion, they would choose to regrade it, and you'd have to, pay the whole fee. But if there was not, but if the well was fine, they wouldn't. Yeah, you're right. They wouldn't ask questions because they needed to keep it moving and keep it fast.
Can you put it on who that's top comment right there? That says yeah. No, the other one
down
up.
grading monitors are backed up big.
No, the one up more.
I did them back saying they didn't have a newsstand on the label. Yeah.
So that's what I was saying. Like a lot of times, CGC when you would put on your form, hey, mine has a modular insert, or this is a newsstand, or this is a certain variant, and they put it on the label, but a lot of times they don't. That you'll get it and have to resend it in because they forgot the labels or to put those comments on your book. So hopefully they can change all that. That's the only new nick and cranny that I have with them, but hopefully this reslabbing. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
That's just that. I think that's just like an endless thing that's going to always happen. Is that they're going to consistently mess up on comments for these comic books because they're just doing so many.
No.
Tony Stank, so Tony Stank said, so the perpetrator wouldn't have to do it with surgical precision. Yeah, they would to a degree because what they want is that they apply some heat. And you can look up some of the YouTube videos where they kind of crack the case.
Well, I thought they cracked the top and changed out this. I don't think they really.
I seen one video where they went from the bottom and they pulled it out. They pulled
that whole well right there.
And some of them, and then they took glue along the side. I mean, you couldn't even tell it when they were done.
And some of them were graded without a well. I remember they had the Newton rings. Yeah, you're probably right. So they would come in from the bottom and maybe take it out because it has a well in there. And I remember like some of them really didn't. Some of them didn't have wells.
Yeah. All right. I have no idea where that comic book went to. And I know I didn't
know where it was because that's where he took it when he was over there last time.
That's what I put it at.
I'm sure he took it and hit it.
Mr. Collector or Future Batman.
That one that Thiago said he knows Cross's house better than him. That's kind of creepy and interesting at the same time.
Billy was running up there to go get him.
Billy, where is it, Billy? Did you take the well again, Billy?
So for those who don't know, the hidden secret is that if I was to pan the camera that way, you would see Paul. You would see the side of Paul and his side of the loft, which has a pink room painted,
which has the wall background painted. Yeah,
right. Yeah,
secret's out.
The studio B.
So, Future Batman or Mr. Collector, y'all have anything to say on this?
What's up, Harm's Way, Chad? The book is behind the G.I. Joe on the second shelf through.
That would be too funny.
I'm seriously, I'm looking because I know it's up here somewhere. This room is just a mess because I haven't gotten my permanent drawer units.
It's true. I've seen it.
It's literally here somewhere.
Carlos DLR did a good.
Okay, so for those popping in, we have already done the first giveaway of the night. So for those who keep popping in and saying #Amazing Southern, I know Southern Comic Geek enjoys it, but yeah.
Yeah, y'all can stop that hashtag.
Right.
We're not doing
and to the more than 30 people who are tuning in tonight and hanging out with us, make sure and hit that like button. But let's see, Mr. Collector and Jen, y'all haven't shared yet any thoughts on this Reholdergate. Do y'all have anything?
Hey, before y'all start, what I gave y'all for the notes, read that. All right, go ahead.
Okay. So the only thing I'm going to say about it is the older guys at shows or even the older guys that own comic shops, the ones that already hate CGC or sometimes don't like buying CGC because I guess they don't trust them. I mean, that just messed up even worse for them. So, the guys that, say, oh, I don't trust them. And then now they're starting to get into it about buying like older books that were slabbed. But now I mean, it's going to be harder to try to sell books CGC, especially big books like that, because I'm sure all these dealers and shops have that list. Anytime they see a 300 come in, I guarantee you they're looking at that list and seeing, is this book on here? Because the people, yeah, because if that list is out, I'm pretty sure there's some people that just want to get rid of it, and they're just going to try to sell it because they already know they took a loss on it, so they're going to try to get as much as they can for it. So I don't know. I just hope the people that were affected, do it the right way and, go to CGC and not try to offer it to someone else that might not know about it or might not know that book's on that list. So that's the one thing I hope that doesn't happen to anyone else. That's my biggest thing with that. But that's it, though.
Lord, we said through
Hello?
that.
So I did find it just real quick. I'll show y'all.
What
Some
was
people
it?
might not. Some people might be. It was in one of the boxes of CGC books. So, all right. So this is an older generation. This is not the way they do it currently. But so this is the inner. This is what we're talking about when we say the inner well. This was so a local comic shop that knew I had the channel just gave this to me because they couldn't really do any. They didn't really want to do anything with it. They didn't think it was worth even sending in to get reholdered or get reslabbed. So they just gave it to me and said, "Hey, use it as like an example on the channel." So this is Warlord number 1. It was a 9.8. It's not actually a 9.8 because it's got a little bit damaged. But you can see that there's these lines that are heat sealing the plastic around the comic book, and then the label actually used to be sealed in to the book itself, so it was all one piece, so you couldn't switch them out. Part of, I think, what happened with the scam was that the person that was changing them out, these are separate on the newer versions, on the newer slabs. So he was able to switch it out and keep the same label, but just switch out the book. Here you can see it'd be a little bit harder to do that because it's all one piece. So, when they're looking at it for a reholder, however he was getting it out in and out, I think it might have been a little bit harder. So yeah, just for those who are wondering about when they say the inner well, this is what it is. And then this plastic rubbing against the outside plastic was what would cause, and still does cause, the Newton rings.
Newton rings, yes.
Yeah, so that's a cool little, just a little something for y'all to see. And then, okay, so Mr. Collector, you shared a little bit. Jen,
Yeah.
What you got for us about Reholdergate?
Read the notes I gave you.
I didn't give me any notes, Paul, but I do have my phone here, and I think Carlos, what he had stated earlier was, if you purchase one of our books that this individual tampered with, we will ensure that you are appropriately compensated for losses arising from any failures from our services. So if you bought one of these books, they're not going to really compensate you because you bought a book that had nothing to do with their services. But it's a PR thing, right? So they have to make a statement on this holder gate. So I mean, I'm not sure what they're going to do or how much they're going to compensate. But again, it says they use that special term to kind of slide that in and say, hey, well, it depends if it's our fault or not. Now, does this affect people that only grade comic books that are signed? Like, I only grade comics that are usually just signed. So I don't really go out of my way to grade comic books just to get a blue label out of them. I'll keep them, and if an artist comes around, then I'll send it in for signing. I bought this book. I bought this a while back, and I showed this to Paul, and thank God this isn't on the list. But there isn't really that many blue label books that I go out of my way to buy. If they're just blue labels, I'll buy a raw copy and get it signed. So I mean, And that's another thing. I mean, did it affect signed books too? I mean, were there signed books out there that were 9/8?
Yeah, there were a couple of signed books on the
Yeah.
list.
So I mean, I'm sure that's a lot harder to do with the signed book because the signature placement on that book, you would have to like look up and do all that. And, yeah, so yeah, stuff like that, man. I don't know. I mean, I don't really have much to say on this. It's one of those things where it's like, the deed's done. It's
I'm sorry, Jen. I'm sorry, but
Wow.
I'm glad it's
Southern Comic Geek was so happy with his bowl of popcorn.
Y'all gotta let my man snack, man. I'm
He was like, man, I'm just gonna eat my popcorn and listen to what he's
I
got
thought
to
that- I
say.
thought
This is better than the Marvels, man. This is better than the Marvels. Okay.
well,
Well, and the other one more thing I'll add on the this whole Reholder Gate. It is good to see that other kind of collective companies like Go Collect and GPA have pitched in and tried to. I think they're supposed to be updating like pictures of all these sales and stuff. And in a result that you, in an effort rather for people to be able to look at that picture and say, that's not the same book. This one's got ticks, that one didn't, so on and so forth.
You may continue eating your popcorns.
So,
Go ahead.
Jen,
appropriate is the actual word that they're using here.
I'm glad I do think they're going to pay out, but I think you pointed something out that they will be the ones to deem the appropriate compensation. So now that, that could be like a couple $100. It could be, but I mean, it's largely going to be at their discretion.
Like I'm looking here, there's a 9.9 newsstand, right? Of I think it was like the highest copy graded of Amazing 252, and it was $15,000. You think they're gonna go out of their way and say, hey, you got duped, and we have to pay you $15,000 because you bought a book?
I mean that's the deal. Is that I mean, if they did fair market value adjustments for everybody on that list, like you're talking, like that's a lot of money. Like that's a lot of.
Sorry.
No, you guys are great. I mean, I love feedback, and that's what this is. It's a discussion. So I agree. I mean, I'm just adding on to what I already agree with. I mean, with what you guys are saying. It's just that it's been going on for like 3 weeks, and I've heard it all, and it's like, what can I say about it that people haven't already said? So it's like, well, they did say that word was appropriate. So I think that was the word that you were looking for.
Yeah.
It's the way
I agree with that. Who that?
Practically put that in there just to say, well, yeah, we'll compensate you, but
this is how
much insurance did you put on this book? Like,
how
much insurance did you put on this book? A lot.
What about if they purchased the book from another person? They don't have any insurance on that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. And then you have Amazing Fantasy 15, and and you send that book out for grading. That's enough to buy a house these days, right? I mean, if you didn't put insurance on it and you didn't pay money for that type, they're going to look at things like that too. Like, let's just say that you send it off through a friend or something and they messed up or whatnot. I don't know why somebody would do that to you, but they might be looking at things like that, like, hey, insurance and all that. So I think it's a little bit deeper than that. But I mean, I'm still going to use CGC for grading. So I mean, going for, I know every time you're talking, I'm like, okay, well, then I stay quiet and I'm like, hey, I'm gonna let him talk. So go ahead, with Mr. Collector. I want to hear what you got to say.
My bad, dude. The only thing I'm gonna say is, so when they go back, are they gonna go back if they do the pricing or the reimbursement for whatever? Are they going to do it for what the value of the book is now, or when the value of the book is when it was reholdered? That's what I want to know. Are they going like back then, or are they going to do current? Because that's kind of what I'm curious about.
When they do it to where they purchased it,
I think they're going to use current pricing.
Yeah.
There's
And who
That's
that made
gonna,
a comment. It's like that isn't a lot of money to CGC. I mean, essentially, you're right. It isn't. But if you're
well,
if
I
but at
mean,
the
okay,
same time, how many people that working there, or the one running the show
do
want to pay?
but I
Uh,
mean, do the math. Do the math
yes.
though. Okay, like 350 books was the number of books on the list. Say, okay, $1,000 a pop, and it's not going to be $1,000 a pop
No,
because
there's
there
gonna
was
be
like
more than.
there's Amazing Fantasy 15s on there. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
300 like 350 $1,000 adjustments. That's $350,000.
Yeah, and
So
that
like
one
I don't care
person.
what company you are, a 350 like the minimum like being like 350 that like that's a lot of money. And yeah, it's not as much of a big deal to them, but it's still like you don't budget for that kind of an amount, and there's all kinds of stuff that's going to get involved with it. But I mean, I think it's good on them for how they handled it, because I think, it's a bad situation. I feel like they handled it as well as they could have. So, I mean, but I don't know. I'm waiting to hear stories from people who send their books back in, and it has to be addressed somehow. I like those, because those stories are going to start coming out over the next couple of months. And I'm just, I'm curious. I don't want CGC to look bad in all this, because like I'm not like anti CGC or anything, because I think they do have uses. But I also I just don't like that this thing happened. That this guy and probably others thought that, hey, we're going to just scam people. Like a completely, this isn't like a flipper situation where or like the whatnot stuff. The people get upset about whatnot because they say it's like pressure sales and all that. No, that's not. That's people choosing how to spend their hard-earned money. This was an individual who committed criminal acts of fraud to scam people out of their money, their hard-earned money that they chose how much they were going to spend on that particular book, but he like deceptively, like he lied. He did deceptive practices to trick them into buying a fake good.
Hey,
So
Carlos.
So would it be
Mhm.
mail fraud too? Right?
This
would
is
it be, wait, what?
the list right here. So I
Yeah,
mean, if
yeah.
you go through, I'm gonna try to angle it a certain way, but if you give me 1 second, guys, I'm trying to the lights like hitting this and everything in a certain angle, but okay, there it goes. But if you're
It's on
going
their
and
CGC website. Yep.
yeah, but if you're going through here, look at that, man. These are like
Yeah.
older. Look at that
Oh yeah,
194.
yeah. No,
Anybody tell me
there's
what
some big books.
194 is? Look at all these 194s.
Yeah, there's a lot of 194.
There's a lot of
Yeah,
194s on there.
yeah.
And I'm
I think
just
that
going
was
through
because
it.
of the
I'm
Mark
like, holy
Fuller.
crap, 194,
They
238.
did a bunch of 300s too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
300. Oh my
300.
god, like the amounts of 300s that are on here. Like I'm still
There's a good
scrolling and I'm
181
seeing
too.
300. So it's Incredible
181.
Hulk, 340,
Yeah,
181. I mean, you got
Yeah, there's
181s on here.
181.
There's no 180 on here though, so I mean, I think I'm kind of safe, right?
I'm kind of safe right.
Iron Man number 1. There's 2 Iron Man number 1s on here. Journey into Mystery number 7 and 8, and I'm sorry, 83s. I think that's what the first Wolverine print or something. I can't remember what that is, but anyways, yeah. I mean, Carlos isn't wrong at all. I mean, you have so many of these older books on here, and if they're worth a pretty penny, then
Yeah,
yeah, that's
yeah.
crazy.
There's AF-15s on there. I think there was 2, and then I think there was a couple of ASM ones, and then all those Silver Age books. Man, it's I don't know. I'm curious to see how it plays out. Real quick, hey, I want to show off a couple of folks that have made comments here. What's up? Shout out to Lifting and Comics. Eli, what's up, man? Good to see you here hanging out. Thiago is commenting on JC. JC is one of the investors in I think it was BlackRock, the ones that invested in CGC. Let's see. Wolverado says, shout out to Wolverado. He's one of our channel members. He says, how will they update, correct their records to reflect those slab books that were purchased to be swapped out with the actual book being submitted for being reholdered? So the books are going to be, so all the serial number or the serial numbers for the books that were tampered with, they have that list now, and they're trying to put that out there so people can get in touch with them. Once the book comes in to be inspected by CGC, they're going to wipe that certification number from the census and from their system and give it a new serial number. So all the ones that get sent into CGC, they'll be inspected for possible, financial,
Compensation.
whatever compensation, and then they'll be given a new slab, new well, like new everything, and then they'll have a new serial number. So yeah, they do have a plan for addressing it so that these tampered books are not out in the market. Now somebody said in one article that maybe some people might, because this is like a bigger thing than acetate gate. So some people might want to keep the book, like for notoriety. I don't know if I see anybody doing that. I mean,
Nah.
that'd be an expensive.
Yeah.
Thing. So let's see. So Thiago says, right. Not even. Okay. That's, Instagram post. All right. Harm's Way Chad says there is manipulation. I did want to say something to this real quick. There's manipulation with Whatnot and pressure to buy the book because of potential FOMO based on exclusivity of the book. Yes, that is true. Okay. That's why I don't sell on Whatnot. That's why when they approached me about being one of their like people, I turned them down and decided not to go with them because I don't like the high pressure sales pitch they do. However, the practice, if you think about it, the practice that they utilize has been in effect for a long, long time, because that's what happens on QVC and the Home Shopping Network. It's the same thing. Timer ticking down, limited number, high pressure sales have been high pressure viewer based sales has been a thing for quite some time, since like the 70s, 80s. So it's been the tactic has been around for a while. I don't agree with it. I don't like it. So I don't participate in it. But you don't have to go on Whatnot to buy comics. You can buy them on eBay. You can buy them on Instagram. You can buy them on YouTube. Plenty of safe, non-pressure ways to buy comics. So the people who choose to go on Whatnot are doing so at their own peril. And this is just my little quick FYI, my little quick heads up. I don't think it's a good platform. And I think, Shortbox, much cleaner and safer platform. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, all better platforms than Whatnot. And so, it's probably going to upset somebody, me saying that, but that's my opinion on it. So that's how I feel about it. But yeah, I did want to say that Harm's Way, because I do agree that it's manipulation, but it's still a person choosing to place themselves in that position to do it. So that's just it. Let's see. Anybody else can speak on the Whatnot thing if you'll want to.
eBay's doing what Whatnot's doing now too. They when we were at when I was at Fan Expo Dallas, or Dallas Fan Expo, however you want to say it. When I went there last year, and Stanley Archerm Lau was there, Archerm, when he was there, right after, I think it was like maybe 3 hours before the show ended on a Sunday. So I have a buddy who is in contract with selling Archerm stuff. Well, Archerm Collectibles was allowed to whatever was left over by Archerm just to sell that wherever they needed to sell it. So they sold a lot of that stuff on eBay, and they used the FOMO techniques, which is, if you don't know what FOMO is, it's the fear of missing out. That's why it's just abbreviated down to FOMO, right? So a lot of people have FOMO on new Wednesdays, right? Like there's a 1 in 200 issue or 1 in 500 issue. There's And so I have to grab it because there's only 1 in 500 that they got, and there you go. So if there is a 1 in 500 art germ and he just sketched on it, that must be worth millions of dollars 10 years from now. So they'll pressure you into buying something, and now eBay's doing it too. So it's not like they'll put rare and super rare, and they'll use trigger words or certain words to get your attention. So then when you do go on there, you end up like, oh yeah, it's 10 seconds to buy the one and only art germ piece. And then like 3 months later, he's doing another one on a 1.1 out of 500. So it's not, it's just a tactic and technique that they just use, and eBay's doing it now too. So I just wanted to add that in. It's not just Whatnot; it's a lot of people are doing it.
Yeah, and I think we're going to see the landscape shift dramatically, because once eBay gets into it, it's over.
Yes,
Like, Whatnot is over. I mean, because the beta test run they did for eBay squashed every Whatnot number in existence. Like, it was not even. Yeah, it was because they did do a test run last year, because they were working on like the beta testing for the eBay version, because how many people are going to be. I mean, it's going to be crazy on there. But yeah, I mean, I like no pressure deals where I can look up a book and think about it, and and correspond with the people selling it. So that's why I like some of the some of the Instagram shows, some of the YouTube shows. But a lot of them, if there's too much like kind of pressure or whatever, I just kind of tune out, because I don't want to be pressured into spending my hard-earned money without knowing for sure what I'm getting and how rare it actually is. So and conventions can be like that too. Yeah, Harm's Way. Shout out to Hip Comic as well. I don't know much about it, but I think I've heard some good things. Let's see, Wolverado. Yeah, I'm not sure how they're going to address that, but it's again, it's something that I think will shake out and see. Dagger Card says, "Shop at home got me as a kid. After I didn't end up going to university, when I went into Yet Army, I got screwed out of lots of money." I believe that. And let's see, and Weapon X. If you're not watching the side commentary from Weapon X, it's pretty good. He says, and on that note, please visit our sponsor, Lone Star Comics. So let's see. Harm's Way says, I've gotten so many deals on YouTube because there's not a lot of play just yet. So that's my place to get steals. Same here. I've gotten some good deals, some really good deals. Okay, Hudat says, did Southern and Paul talk No Fan Expo and meeting the great one? Hudat Comics and Movies. Heard that guy's amazing. I've heard that too. But we're about to go ahead and do that, so I'm going to turn it over.
No comment.
Southern Comic Geek and Paul, and let you guys talk about it. Me and Future Batman and Mr. Collector are all going to step backstage, so y'all won't see us for a moment. But you guys don't log out.
Oh, you trying? You try. Go ahead. So New Orleans Fan Expo, formerly known the show known as Wizard World New Orleans, but I think that overall it was a great show. I got there Friday as the doors were opening, and as I tried to line up some sketches, kind of see the lay of the land, and get things going. Was there also Saturday. Paul shows up Saturday late, as you can imagine.
Yeah, the reason why I got there late is because Southern Comic Geek gave me the worst directions ever, guys. I think he didn't want me to go, but me and Billy found our way.
So he was there, and there were several other folks there, Yahweh, aka Yahweh, Sean, and then Russell or Hudat. Of course, Paul, myself, and there's a couple other Sparks Comics was there. So several different folks that you probably have seen at one time or another on IG and or YouTube. And it had a decent lineup of guests. I mean, this show is, whether it's Fan Expo New Orleans or Fan Expo Dallas, they're going to have a very healthy celebrity section. And they did this time too, which fine. If that brings people and they pay the bills, that's fine. As long as they, for me, have a good creator section. Now, I'm not usually the guy going after the voice actors and the celebrities, but this time, and I think Paul and I can agree for once on something, I think this time would be the exception because they had like 90% of my childhood right there in line. And so like for Friday, I was able to get all the voice actors of the Turtles to sign this print done by Tim Lottie, who is a Louisiana artist, but obviously he's done
that is cool.
work for IDW. This is a print of the original cover that I own. And I'm going to get April O'Neil's to sign it before I get them done up together. But then we talk Transformers. Now, I know Paul is bigger GoBots fan than Transformers, but you should have seen Paul. He was screaming like a little schoolgirl in that line.
Yeah, man, I got to meet.
He's fanboying.
So what Mississippi was talking about, so he left out a little bit of stuff. I've never been to New Orleans Fan Expo. I went for the first time, and I give Southern Comic Geek mess with him on here, but he was really nice. He told me park on the parking lot, which I had to go all the way to the top because who knew it? Everybody parks there. So had to park all the way to the top, came down, met him, met Huda and Yahweh in another line because I was in the Peter Cullen line. That's the first thing I did when I got there was go to Peter Cullen's line where he said, till all are one. I was like, oh, man, I could my childhood. and don't tell future Batman guys, but he gave me this big print of Optimus Prime. I got it signed. I was talking to Southern Comic Geek because he had got some books for me, and I left it right on the counter. Looking at him, I was so shocked and like, oh man, Jen's gonna kill me. So I go back, and luckily the lady, his wife, I guess is his wife, I believe so, said, oh, I was keeping it for you. I knew you would come back. And me and her talked for a little bit more about his brother that he had passed, but he was a big inspiration from the Marines. And just him saying that I was just a little kid. I was like, yeah, this is so cool. But he left out the big wagon that he had, which he was running over people. But he did bring my buddy on there. Him and Billy were talking. His son, great comic book collector. Me and him were talking. Finally, I was like, finally, somebody that collects just like I do. I was waiting for you. You didn't.
Yeah, there we go.
Gotcha.
But so Paul, did you get all the? You got the DVD signed, right?
No, I didn't get my VHS signed.
Oh, okay. I thought you said you were getting it signed.
I was. So at Fan Expo, you sat down and you got one of these. All you had to do was sit down in the Gundam thing. So I was sitting there with Yahweh and Hudat, and there was two little boys there, and they were getting this done before two grown men were getting it done. It's just something that, and I'll just show this to the guys. I thought that was pretty funny. Let's see right here.
So the Gundam display was a pretty big thing this year.
They were from St. Louis, and they said that was their last show that they were doing. Let's see where it's at. Oh, here it is. Grown man, guys.
Wait. Who that put something in the chat? Paul.
Oh, Sam's gonna get a kick out of this. Don't hurt yourself with the heavy equipment right there.
Oh, where does this go?
I think you got the.
Let me see.
Hold on, you got the instructions backwards right there. Turn.
815. That's this guy right here.
Oh. It's a damn shame, guys. Two little boys are beating these two adults. I'm building a Gundam. Come on, man. To page 3. Look, he's back on page 1.
What is wrong?
So you said two boys. Who that said you got called out, man?
Oh yeah, because he had long hair. But I mean, they were two boys. He says I don't identify as that. Oh, is that what it is? Yeah, I didn't want to make any more fun of him, but yeah. I got a bunch. Did you get anything else signed or anything else
So
done? I'll let you.
this is the print that I got at
Oh
Strictly
yeah,
that Andrew Wildman had done, which is a huge scene, which is Light Our Darkest Hour. And right. So I got the voice of Grimlock to do sign it at Strictly's con. So Peter Cullen signed it up here by Optimus right here. And then Megatron is not actually on here. So I thought, well, he's got to be on here for Frank Welker to sign it. So I got another Louisiana artist to do this remark, and he put "I still function," just like he did when Starscream threw him out after the battle.
yeah. So what he's referring to, guys, is when Starscream let him out of Astro Train, and that's when Megatron went to Unicron to turn into Galvatron. Man, that was a great scene, and he doesn't know that, guys. So I'm sorry about that.
Well, so anyway, so I told Peter Cullen when I walked up to him, I said, you know that, and I'm sure that a million other people have told you the same thing, that you were responsible for, harming me mentally throughout my childhood, seeing the death of your character. So, but those guys, whether it's Frank Welker or him, I mean, Frank Welker voiced Iceman and Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. I mean, these guys did.
He did Soundwave and Rumble.
Frank Welker
and Scooby Doo.
Yeah, Fred from Scooby Doo, and I think Scooby at some point.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, these guys have been around, and same thing with the Turtle actors, voice actors. But they had the Sarah Connor, the lady that played Sarah Connors from the guy that played the T-1000. They had all of that. So I am some of that, not all of those, but yes. I do wear dress shirts an awful lot. But yeah, so they had a lot of people to have a lot of fandoms there. If you are unfortunate like myself and like several fandoms, you have to make hard choices, right? You have to say, which one am I going to pay $50 or more to do? So as far as the con overall, I think the press side of it was a little bit better than it has been in the past. However, there were some things that they could work on to get a little bit better organized in the lines. For instance, most the people that were in Frank Welker's line were going over to Peter Cullen's. The opposite didn't really hold true. But hey, let me get a combo package if I'm going to buy signatures from both these guys, and that way I can go from there to there versus going out of this line and going right back in the other line with, especially like if we're visiting the Hobbits or like all the Terminator people. And that would actually work better for some of the lesser known characters. If you have like the Terminator folks, some of them were like big ones, like the lady that plays Sarah Connor, whose name is escaping me right now. Linda something. But she's a big draw, but what about the rest of them? So like, people are like, if I'm not getting a deal, I'm not going to get so-and-so to sign it. So I think it would flow. Hamilton. Thank you.
Yeah. Linda Hamilton. There you go.
But yes, I mean, I think it would flow better that way. I think that would be one
I
thing.
agree with you on that, because somebody got like tickets. They tell you to purchase the signatures online, but some of the prices I've noticed when you go buy the ticket, so you get the ticket and it goes in your back here, you can print it out, or maybe a QR code on your phone. Right. But once you go up to the person you're signing, maybe it's just those bigger names, but they were telling us, the line people were saying, it's okay, you already paid for that, so you're good. But when you get up to the line to their handler, their people, they say, no, you got to pay the extra. And I don't think that should be right. I think if you buy the signature, it should hold. If you buy it online on Fan Expo, it should hold. You shouldn't have to pay extra money.
So what Paul's talking about is like a regular signature on a regular 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. Is one price. That print that I had, because it's large, it's the second price, which is totally ridiculous because why am I paying? I mean, it doesn't cost your hand any more effort to sign on one piece of paper versus another.
No, what I'm saying, like if you buy it online, it's like a double-edged sword. You might as well just buy it when you're there because you buy it online. Yes, you're guaranteed a signature,
Yeah.
but it's only what I'm saying. Like if they have that price, it should just count for the signature. It doesn't matter what it is. You bought it online on Fan Expo, but it doesn't work that way. You go up to the front and they want you to pay extra money.
Right.
And it's like, what about if I don't have that extra money and you're just stuck out? So that's
Well,
the
see,
only thing that I had about it.
Well, and the other thing about that is some of them take just cash.
Yeah, that's true. Yep.
And so you got an
people
ATM.
yep.
I mean, you got an ATM right there, but they only let you take so much out of the bank. And I don't walk around with a lot of cash these days. You know, I think they need to just make it uniform. Everybody takes card. I think they'd make more money that way, despite fees. If they're trying to skip on the government, that's between them and Big Brother. But I just think that it would make things a lot easier, and they would end up making a lot more money. Overall, it was an enjoyable experience. I feel like the New Orleans Fan Expo is inching back up from after COVID, and
I don't know. I didn't see that. To me, I think it's like I don't know. I don't see that. But
I think they're getting better progressively.
Oh, you're talking about? Oh, okay. I got it.
Yeah, over the last 3 years, like where they were in say 2020, which that con went on like right before the COVID crap hit the fan, so to speak. So, and then coming back from that, they're getting more things because I kind of wondered, me personally, selfishly, I guess, Houdat's probably the same way, but it's nice to be able to go to a con you're not that far, a big con that you're not that far away from.
Yeah, to me, it wasn't that far for me. I mean, it was kind of a drive, but like being there the first time, very like I said, I give him a hard time, but he was very helpful in telling me stuff and getting me there because I've never been there, but now I've know the outline of the land and how it works and know better things for next time. But it all in all was a great show. And Sunday, he left Sunday, but I was there Sunday, and Sunday was more calmer than Saturday. Saturday was just hectic. Things were going everywhere. Wagons were running over people. It was just crazy. But Sunday was more laid back. Like the artist, Saturday was less accessible, but Sunday was way better because a lot of them didn't even have a lot of people. So it was time. It was good for a person to go and talk to the people. Like I was going to show, like I got Sway. Sway was a really good person. So he
never would. He never was at the booth. Every time I walked by, he wasn't there.
But he was there when I was there.
Well,
great guy, man. I was talking to him, and he did a few of these. So this one was pretty cool. I didn't tell him to do that, but I told him to do his signature thing that he does on the book. And I was asking him, why did you have a pipe wrench for this lady? You know, but he told me that the character needed a pipe. Her character has a pipe wrench, but I made him do this. So he was a really cool person. He told me, all right, your time's up. So I went to my best. This is my best friend from now on. Me and him talk now. So I got Ryan Otley. Good guy right here. He signed right here. He did the thing with Donnie Cates on this one. And y'all know he did Invincible. So he signed down here. And he was like, wow, I didn't know you had this harder to find sketch cover, but he signed it for me. One of my good friends now. He's trying to get him.
I'm just glad that Stephanie Phillips's restraining order had ended so that you didn't have an issue.
So funny story. I showed this to Mississippi. I showed Southern Comic Geek and noticed it was Jay Lee's signature, and he turns to me and goes, "How did you get that signature? He's not even here." And so I turned around and said, "Yeah, he was back there by that building for the second person on the right." And he said, "No, he's not here." And yeah, he got under the weather and couldn't make it. But I got Stephanie Phillips to sign on this one, the Grimm. Beautiful signature placement. And she was kind of upset too because she was saying to people, "Oh, why is Jay Lee not here?" and they're like he got under the weather and couldn't make it, so I got her to sign this one. She rode on ridden Harley, and I got two more. Had to get one, not two. So yeah, that was really cool. But yeah, it was bad that he wasn't there. And then I went to my best friend Stephen Platt. Oh, you're gonna show? Go ahead.
Well, I was just so Tom Grummett, who's probably best known for his Superboy work in the '90s during the Return of Superman and all that.
Ooh,
I
Tom
was able
Grummett.
to get a blue Superman page from him, the last one he had, and the wording is actually was actually done directly on the board. A lot of these old ones, they were done on pastes and glued, and they'll fall off over time, and you'll have like a brown stain. And of course, like in the '90s, they just quit doing it altogether. But yeah, be sure to put in the hashtag Bowling Street Paul. We have pictures to prove it.
We don't have no pictures, right, Billy?
Paul Russell took him and Sean over to certain sides of town we won't talk about on air. But anyway, so it was surprising that he still had one of these. And then I also got Gen X. He did this issue of Gen X, and it's got Chamber and all M and all these guys, a lot of folks from that run. So that was pretty cool as well. Him and his wife are super nice people to talk to.
So yeah, like I said, I went to see my best friend Stephen Platt, and he did my Moon Knight books. If y'all see my IG, I haven't shown a lot of these books yet, but this one's on my IG. Just a beautiful signature placement.
These will all be shortly available at
not that one.
YouTube auction for you.
Maybe some other ones might be, but not those. And then finally, like Mississippi was saying, I got Peter Cullen on this.
That's pretty nice. That's a really nice one right there. Very nice.
But Frank Walker had the better signature, and I got it on this one.
Nice.
And I got him to sign on
Megatron. On that?
I got him to sign on Megatron, and I got Peter Cullen to sign on to say off of what Southern Comic Geek, I had Frank Walker say, I still function, and I said, want to bet? And he yelled out, "Star Scream!" And I was like, "Ah, whoa, man!" I was like, you made my childhood. And yeah, like he said, it was just great. The lines were crazy, but Sunday was really good. I would say if y'all go, at least plan to do some stuff on Saturday. But if you stay Sunday or go Friday like he did, not a lot of things going on, but it was a great time. Got to hang out with Who-Dat. Got to hang out with Southern Comic Geek and his son. His son was a really good guy, knowledgeable on comic books and everything. Me and him were talking about Transformers for a couple of hours, and Southern Comic Geek didn't know nothing because he knows GoBots. But I met up with Yahweh, so great time over there, and and then stay tuned because me and Carlos are gonna get together. I got some videos, and we're gonna, Oh, and to thank Carlos. Thank Carlos. This is for you, buddy.
What? Where did you get that?
Yeah, I was going to give this one, but I said, no, he didn't know. I was going to give you this one, but I was like, nah, you like Zorro, so.
I want the Zorro.
So it's the Free Willy, or was it the Free Willy, I think? Movie homage.
Sean Gordon Murphy, it's his take on Zorro, but I don't know which cover that. I mean, there's a ton of them coming out.
The new one, I think, Dead or something like that.
Did you back that Kickstarter, Carlos?
I almost did. I wanted to, and I wish I did, but I was just a little bit tight, so I decided not to.
So I know you like Zorro.
I really wanted to. I really did want to, man. More than I did the. Well, I'm not gonna say that.
But thanks to Carlos for helping me out to go to New Orleans. So yeah,
I appreciate you bringing that. Hey, let me go ahead and bring the rest of the panel in.
Unless the chat wants it.
I'm not gonna. He's not going back. I hope he enjoyed this one. Generally, Paul no longer. Paul and Collector no longer get sent out on convention coverage assignments because, well, they don't always show up for the live streams.
We won't talk about that one. That was last year. We won't talk
Shout
about
out
that
to
one.
Comic Forge from Pressable Defects.
Comic Forge.
All right, so hey, you saw it pop up here. Hashtag Bourbon Street Paul is what you want to enter to win. The first book up on that is going to be this Peter Parker's Spectacular Spider-Man number 9 in a newsstand. We're talking about a 6. Well, no, I'd say it's about a 7.0 with Pressable Defects. The first traditional comic appearance of White Tiger, one of my favorite characters.
Right.
I have multiple copies myself, but thanks to our sponsor, Lone Star Comics, we were able to pick up a nice copy to give away tonight. In addition, you'll have the option to upgrade to Spider-Man 13, or there is another and completely different mystery book here. So only hint I'll give is that they're all Spider-Man based. Really cool books to choose from. We're going to be doing that. So you want to do hashtag Bourbon Street Paul. I saw at least one person misspell bourbon. So, you got to make sure you spell it correctly because it's not going to pick you up.
I just want to say thank you to Whodad for those was it beignets. Yeah.
Real quick, hey, Ryan Riley, I think that's like the second time you've misspelled it. So you guys
copy and paste somebody else's. Yeah.
Hashtag Bourbon Street Paul is what you got to enter to win.
And he was nice enough to get me a water. Thanks.
Okay, we got 20 people. 20 entries thus far. You definitely want to enter for this one because all 3 books, you can't lose with any of these 3 books. That's what I'm going to say. So lots of cool. Phil Ailing, I think also you misspelled it. So make sure you spell it the way it is here, Bourbon Street Paul. And that's going to enter you to win. We're going to leave that open for just another minute or two. But while people are entering that, to the 30 plus people who are watching, thank y'all for being here. Make sure you hit that like button. Let me leave this up to y'all. Of the adapted properties that are currently going, and they're all currently going right now. That's weird, Paul. I don't want to see that. It creeps me out. It creeps me out.
It's somebody flashed him. Yeah.
Right. For the ones of all the adapted properties, which ones or one do y'all think is currently being done best and has the best chance of like a longer life beyond the next decade or so?
You're talking about just in comics or being done best, like all around, meaning movies, comics, whatever?
Let's stick to just comics right now. Because they are, for the majority, they're all in some form or fashion in comics. Not like with Kong and Godzilla, it's the mashup with the Justice League. But it's they're in some way, shape, or form. All of the adapted properties, like the popular ones, are still being, they're still being produced in some form or fashion. Well, you know what, and if there's a TV or movie project that you like, throw that. Go ahead and throw that in. Because I just thought of the MonsterVerse and what their stuff is really cool. So who wants to go first on that one?
I'll go first.
You want to go? All right.
Yeah, I'll go first. So you guys know me, so I already showed the signatures, right? So I think they're going in a somewhat good way with the Transformers. And then so the G.I. Joe brand was never popular.
We're going to move on to.
At least he wasn't eating popcorn. At least I didn't get that disrespectful. Anyway, so G.I. Joe has not been as popular as Transformers. So what they did was they're merging them together, and I think that's going to be pretty cool. It's always been a thing of mine. They did a mini series back in the 80s about G.I. Joe Transformers. So I think they're going in the right direction with them. They left Michael Bay and all that satellite, whatever they were doing over there. So I think they're going in the right track. Now they got the comic out. You know, y'all read the newest Transformer book. Y'all will like it. I mean, the way they put Optimus Prime by the arc and hanging him and all that. But yeah, I think they're going in the right direction with the Transformers brand.
Cool. Okay, who else?
I can go.
Yeah, top that.
I think Transformers probably has 2, maybe 3 more issues before it gets canceled.
What?
That's my opinion.
What?
All right, you're out of here.
No, if there's one property I'm excited about them, putting back on the big screen is Aliens. That's one thing I'm super excited about. I love the Aliens franchise. I know they haven't had the best movies recently, but it's gonna be hard to beat the originals. But I'm excited for them to work on that. What's that? It's another movie they're making. I don't know if it comes out this year or the following year, but I know they are working on a new movie. But
they're working on a Walking Dead one. I'm surprised you didn't talk about that.
Wait, do you mean Prometheus?
No, not Prometheus.
Oh, it's a sequel to Prometheus. If that's true, it's supposed to come out this year.
Is it a secret? I thought they were doing an Alien show too, though.
Yeah, they are doing an Alien show.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, there is an Alien show. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm excited to see what they're going to do with that, and Predator too. I mean, they're already making I don't know if it's going to be a sequel or what for the one they did for was it Hulu, and that was a good movie.
Yeah,
I don't know if anyone saw that. That was a really good movie. So I'm excited for both those properties actually. So those are the ones on my top list. Like I said, Transformers is, it only has a couple more issues. So.
All right, well, you're out of here. You're out of here. We don't need any more of this crap.
All right, cool. Let's
Just
see,
like
Jen
The Walking
or
Dead, you're out of here.
Southern? What do y'all think?
I can go. Again, this is kind of a rarity, but Paul and I agree that right now, if you're talking about like the whole ball of wax, meaning comics and other forms of medium, I think Transformers is it. Just the things that Daniel Warren Johnson is doing on Transformers, and they've just totally revived that deal. And then this. Now, I was not a big G.I. Joe reader when I was a kid, but I picked this up just because it's connected, right? Yeah. And I was like, wow. I mean, that was a way to start it.
You like what he did the Starscream on? Yeah, that was really cool.
Oh yeah. I caught that.
And the way he blew up Soundwave, and then the other. My bad.
So I mean, I really like that crossover. So I mean, I'm looking forward to some good. I mean, they've got some really good people working on that now. Obviously, very early still. We'll see, but I feel like. Hopefully they just re-signed, IDW just re-signed Turtles, unfortunately. So
unfortunately,
if IDW goes bankrupt, somebody will get that property.
Where do you want it to go? You wanted Skybound to get them?
If they keep doing like they're doing with G.I. Joe and Transformers, yeah. I mean, that's the perfect fit. Please don't send it to Marvel right now. Don't send it to Marvel.
Wow.
So Carl's Collections, by the way, is an original art collector, Carlos, and he mentions that Duke was awesome, and he's a huge fan of Tom Riley's art. You should check out his Comic Art Fans gallery. He's got some great Superman stuff from Death of Superman and stuff.
Oh wow.
But yeah, so and on my channel I dropped the link, and so it appeared in the chat here too. If y'all are not familiar with his channel, he does unboxings over there, so go check him out. But so Tom Riley's art is for sale, and that scene I almost bought it. The scene that has Destro in there, where he's sitting there.
Oh wow!
Where they call him up and they're like, "Hey, should I kill him?" And he's like, "No, don't kill him." And it's
really.
Yeah, if it had been the one, they already sold the Starscream ones those would really been good pickups. But
Yeah.
So anyway, but yeah, that's my take. It's going to be Transformers.
Nice.
If you're talking about the whole shebang. And he says he just actually unboxed a Duke page recently.
I see that. I see that.
Wow.
I'm definitely gonna have to check it because I shared at the top of the show. I'm a huge fan of what they did with Duke. They took in a direction I didn't expect, but it was fantastic. And I really think that just overall, everything they're doing with the Energon universe, all the titles, I think they're just knocking them out of the park.
Well, I forgot about Void Rivals. I mean, that's another decent one.
Right? Yeah, that's one that started it. And I mean, they're doing a real Kirkman is doing a really good job. And I think if it does well enough, I could easily see them deciding, hey, you know what, we're going to go ahead and go this direction with the films and with films and TV properties, because Hasbro is desperate to to dive into these properties and get them exploited properly. Yep. And I think Michael Bay's version has kind of run its course of Transformers. G.I. Joe, they've never been able to get it. I mean, the best G.I. Joe property they had was that little stinger at the end of Rise of the Beasts.
Mm-hmm. And
that's
Snake Eyes.
That's only because they had Michael Kelly in there. And which, I mean, that immediately when he shows up, he elevates any property he's in. So for those who don't know who he was the guy that was the G.I. Joe representative that met with the hero from Transformers Rise of the Beast. And yeah, Carl's collection, I agree, it's a great blueprint for some really exciting properties. What they're doing at John Universe.
Diego had mentioned earlier Sandman too. I mean, which is a big one for Netflix right now and DC Comics.
That's right. They've got a little corner of the universe. Jen, how about you? Any thoughts? Adapted properties?
When you're talking about intellectual properties going forward, ownership, infringement, copyright infringement, let's talk about the most movies that have had the most remakes. King Kong has been remade I think like 6 times now, like 5 or 6 times. Yeah. And then you also have A Star Is Born. So A Star Is Born has been remade 10 times now. Like, that's crazy. No, I'm looking it up. That's why I'm saying this. I mean, Dracula, Annie. I mean, who likes Annie? I don't like Annie. Seven Samurai, right? Jane Eyre. I mean, they haven't remade. I mean, that's probably in the works right now, right? Dracula. Yeah, we just had a Dracula movie last year. Right. So the future would all depend on who's owning. If Disney seems to own everything, but they just lost their rights to Steamboat Willie, right? And the minute it happened on January 1st, every artist on this planet, published or not, takes Steamboat Willie and they just post it all out there. There's 3 Steamboat Willie horror flicks that are being in the making right now. It's just crazy. So it really just depends on the ownership. Whenever Disney owns something, I mean, they have 100% control over it. So say they own Transformers, they have 100% control over it. But the minute they lose something, like the way they lost Steamboat Willie, you saw how in a matter of not even an hour, NFTs, third-party comic books, movies, soundtracks, art. People that don't even know how to draw are making T-shirts with Steamboat Willie holding a knife, and horror T-shirts and all types of stuff. So the future is bright for a lot of these characters. Going back to Aliens, like what Mr. Collector was saying about the TV show, and I think they're making a trilogy out of the Ridley Scott movie. So I know that they're going to continue that. I read up on it, so I know that they're going to definitely make another sequel to the sequel. And then I think Predator, that one that was on Amazon or Hulu, the one with the Native American protagonist, that was actually a really good movie. I really enjoyed that movie.
Amazing. It was fantastic.
Talking about Prey.
Prey. Thank you. So Prey was really good. So yeah, and then if you're looking at King Kong, man, did you guys see Godzilla versus King Kong about 2 years ago? That movie was action packed. They became friends at the end. They were like, and then now they're teaming up, and then also Godzilla -1, probably the best movie I watched last year. Like no lie, man.
Yeah.
That was probably hands down. Soundtrack was amazing. I'm still trying to find the vinyl on that. I think it gets released sometime this month. Just I went out of my way to buy Funko on that. Like I tried to look around for Funko Godzilla -1 stuff. I don't know. If I really have to put my hands on something, I would say Star Wars has a deep future. I mean, I know it's not really comics came, I guess you could say, after the first.
Comics came after that.
Yeah, it came after the first movie
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
Roy Thomas being the guy that saved Marvel out of bankruptcy. Knowing that because we did a panel with him at Strictly's show. So even he was like, yeah, I didn't expect the comics to boom the way that they did. But even with the movies that are like they already announced Mandalorian and Grogu movie, right?
And Billy.
And the future is even brighter. Like they just said that they want to go back to the old Republic, right? Now, and then there's Thrawn, and there's a Thrawn trilogy. So I mean, if there's an actual franchise out there that I think will survive, it's probably going to be Star Wars. That franchise is not just huge, but it's still untouched in so many areas. Like they have a story called The First Jedi, right? I mean, who was the first Jedi? I mean, if you can go back to that, who's the first Sith? I mean, like, there's so many things that they can do with Star Wars, and Star Wars fans are so toxic in their own ways. They're almost as bad as comic book fans. It's like, I mean, they will go and see it, even if the movie's bad. They'll talk about how bad this movie is, but they'll still go see it just so they can tell everybody else how bad this movie is. So, if there's a movie if there's a franchise, I would say Star Wars. Star Wars is out there. And it's not even comic book. I mean, now it's comic book related, but it wasn't comic book related back in the 70s.
So your pick is Star Wars?
I would say Star Wars. It would be between Star Wars and the Steamboat Willie. Yes, I would say Steamboat Willie, who who is a solo uncopyright character now. Anybody public domain. Anyone can. See, El Green Machine understands. They are the worst. I mean, Star Wars fans will fight.
So your pick was Star Wars.
Star Wars or Steamboat.
I sat through all this for you to say Star Wars.
I originally said Steamboat Willie, and then Star Wars. So it'll be between those two. I will go
awesome.
For that.
Good deal. Well, hey, what are your picks for adapted properties that you think are going to have longevity? Looks like Team Nerdy's thrown in that Star Trek has longevity.
Star Trek does have a big
Star Wars, we're getting the Acolyte and Skeleton Crew this year. And yes, Steamboat Willie, that's one I hadn't thought of. I'm still holding out hope for you because I'm a big G.I. Joe fan, so I'm holding out hope. But I'll say that I do want to point this out, that Prey movie, the Predator, like early prequel about the Native American, an encounter with the Native Americans, was fantastic. It was perfect.
Oh,
it was near perfect in every way. And I think that injected a lot of much needed energy into the Predator franchise. And, if they're taking on Native Americans, I could easily see them taking on samurai in feudal Japan. I could see them taking on knights on horseback in medieval England. I could see them taking on all kinds of different characters. And then Marvel pulled out one that actually was really good. Hold it up again. Predator versus Wolverine was
great.
It was the really fun. Oh man. It was the really fun read that it needed to be. I mean, that was another one that they did a really good job with it. And then the MonsterVerse across the board, they're knocking it out of the park with the MonsterVerse.
There you go, Wolverado. Predator versus Zorro.
All right, so let's go ahead and there you go. Predator versus Zorro. All right, so we're going to go ahead and bring up our screen. Whoops, sorry. It's hashtag to the 28 people that entered to win. It's hashtag Bourbon Street Paul. We're going to go ahead and run that right now. As you know, we are doing a giveaway for Peter Parker Spectacular Spider-Man #9, the first appearance of White Tiger. That is a newsstand and about a 7.0. It's got some pressable defects. All right, but folks, good luck to everybody. And here we go.
Good luck, everybody. Hit the like button for us, guys. Share it out. Thank you all for coming tonight.
Good luck, weapon.
Oh, Tony Stank.
Tony Stank, what is up, sir? Look at that. Wow. Tony Stank. All right, Tony Stank. So here's the deal. You got to choose, Tony Stank. Do you want the Peter Parker Spectacular Spider-Man #9, or do you want the mystery book, or do you want the Spider-Man #13?
Or do you want the upgrade,
Mystery
guys?
book.
Yeah, you can do the upgrade book.
Upgrade book.
All right. Congrats, Tony Stank. Tony Stank, you got a couple minutes. You got a minute or so to let us know. One of the new things we're starting up is you need to be present to win. You need, we don't want to spend a lot of time waiting on people to make their choice. So Tony Stank,
He says he wants spectacular.
Spectacular. All right, cool. All right, so congrats on this pickup. Very nice book. We still have the upgrade book left here, and then do I want to see what the mystery book was?
Yeah.
Just for fun, because I don't think this is going in the giveaway. So this week, if you didn't know, Ultimate Spider-Man #1 came out, and so there was a what is his name? Marco Cicchetto did a 1 in 10 design variant for Ultimate Spider-Man #1, and that's what the mystery book was.
Which has his kids on there, yeah.
So yeah, it's got the kids on there,
Yeah.
and like I said, like I shared, I'm really looking forward to it because I love the original, but I picked up this variant that is the first cover appearance and first story appearance of the Spider-Man kids, the Parker kids. So there we go. Yes, Pops Mafia, I am working on it. We're looking to unveil a couple of those in 2 weeks when we do episode number 100. That's going to be our big slab giveaway. We're going to share what some of you did with the price box stickers, and then we're going to be celebrating. We'll be celebrating some stuff with channel memberships. On that note, you can still you can subscribe right now to be a channel member. I know a bunch of you were given subscriptions. I'd love for you to consider continuing to be a supporter of the channel in that direct way, because it really does make a huge difference and help the channel. I want to encourage you also to consider joining the Dark Knight tier, because that is a custom care package from me to you. There's a little form that you fill out that tells me some of your favorite comic book characters, your t-shirt size, and some other details about stuff that you might like that can go into your care package. And the thing I can say is that the person we have currently on the Dark Knight tier, I was going over his stack of books. That's right, stack of books. It's not just one book, not just 3 books, a stack. And first book on the list is going to be a slab for one of his favorite characters that he filled out. So you really want to consider that. I think maybe next week I might show one book, but at the 100th episode I'll definitely show more of the packet, the custom care package that he's going to be getting. But consider that it's $14.99 a month, and every quarter you get a care package that more than makes up for what you're spending on the monthly fee. So I'm able to do that right now, so I want to continue to do that and really make it a fun box for you to open up with some surprises in there. So consider that, and thank y'all for being here. Let me send it around to the different. See, somebody's asking about the Funko Pop. That is the Blue Beetle Dia de los Muertos pop, Funko Pop. So it's a glow in the dark one. That's what the face paint is on him. It's a regular Blue Beetle with some face paint. All right, so let's go make the rounds, and Mr. Collector is going to be shifting to a once a month schedule with us. So, Mr. Collector, why don't you say hey to everybody, say final thoughts and shout outs.
Hey, what's up, everyone? Thank you for stopping by. If you're catching on the rewind, make sure to smash that like button and share it out to your friends, guys. Make sure to catch everyone here every Wednesday for the giveaway show. I appreciate. Was that me?
You glitched. Yeah, you glitched out for a minute.
Sorry about that. But yeah, thank you all for coming again. It was great hearing how the show was out there. So I'll see y'all next month. Appreciate it.
All right, let's keep it moving right along to our new permanent member, cast member, the future Batman.
All right, thanks for having me on, you guys. Thanks, appreciate it, Carlos and Paul and everyone else that's on tonight. Southern Comic Geek and who else am I forgetting? Was Weapon X still going to be with us? Because hey, what's up, Weapon X?
He's gonna take the semester off to kind of adjust his job schedule. So he wanted to take he has to get up super early and go to bed super early.
So I had a great time tonight. It was good hanging out with you guys, and we'll do it again next week, and it'll be fun.
Good, man. I'm looking forward to it. You've always got a lot of good stuff to say, Jen.
Oh God.
All right, let me bring it next to your favorite troll in real life. Here is Paul Comics.
All right, well, guys, thank y'all for coming out tonight. Thank y'all for sitting with us, and me and Billy gave y'all some great information about the show, about the future of some intellectual properties, and some things about CGC. Y'all tune in with us, buddies, because me and Billy got our work cut out for us. Y'all see who's going to be on with us. So, but no, thanks for Collector coming in, Jen, Southern, and yep, we'll see y'all next Wednesday. Appreciate it. And like I said, I was gonna give this one, but I think I'm gonna give this to Carlos, guys. So.
All right, and last but not least, our very special guest star for tonight, who joined us to talk about Fan Expo New Orleans. Here he is, Southern Comic Geek.
Moo.
Hey, thanks for everybody for hanging out with us. Hopefully you were able to stomach having to see so much of Paul. We know that everybody is here for Billy. We know we want to keep Billy the fourth thought of our prayers and thoughts. He has to live with Paul every day. But seriously, though, thanks for having me on, Carlos. Thanks to everybody that either watched here on Carlos's channel or streaming it at the same time over on my channel. Either way, smash that like button. It'll help you feel warm and fuzzy inside as we get this new year started. And just like we talked about meeting other people in the YouTube community as such at the various con in New Orleans, hopefully we'll be able to see some of you all, and feel free to. There was a guy from IG, and he just stopped me at the con and said, Southern Comic Geek, right?
Because you ran over his foot with the wagon.
Well, that might have been why he stopped, really, right? But maybe it was the wagon, it wasn't the face that made him remember it. But anyway, feel free to stop us. Let Paul go, because he'll talk to you forever. But yeah, other than that,
and Southern ain't lying. He saw me. He goes, "Where's Billy?" I'm like,
he left him in the car. I mean, what kind of parent does that?
He looked at me and goes,
Billy
"Where's Billy?"
Paul, and you didn't put Billy with.
He said, "Where's Billy?" Oh, I said, "No, Billy's with Peter Cullen. He's over there talking."
There's some pictures of Billy down on Bourbon Street with something in his hand, in his little hand. But anyway, wild times. But looking forward to this year. Hopefully, all the cons just continue to escalate up in a good way, and everybody's year is starting off positive. Thanks for having me on.
Awesome. Thank you, as always, Southern. It's always a lot of fun when he comes on and is able to join us. Thank you to each and every one of you that hung out with us tonight and was here to just enjoy this time with us. As I've said before, this is one of the highlights of my week, getting a chance to hang out with all my friends in the comic community. As always, let me just say another big thank you to Lone Star Heroes Comics and Toys for their continued support of the channel. They've got 3 convenient locations in the greater Houston area: Galveston, Lake Jackson, and Nassau El Lago. Currently, you can find them over on Instagram or Facebook, and they've got a really cool thing for local artists. They're going to do the first local artist day coming up in March, and I think we'll be over there covering it. They're going to have a special guest star, but they're also going to be showcasing a bunch of local artists. So if you're in the greater Houston area and you want to showcase your art, this is an excellent opportunity to do so. They've also got plenty of sales and the most stacked back issue bins in the greater Houston area. So you definitely want to check that out. Thanks again for y'all being here. And for those who are channel members, we did have a bunch more of you sign up, and I'm working on having the graphic to showcase y'all and say thanks. And please do consider remaining a member after that gift of the first month. Consider staying a member in one of the tiers, and I hope that you'll take a look at what we're going to be offering for this first round of the Carlos, the care package for Carlos, and maybe you'll consider joining the Dark Knight and getting some of those fun books and other items as well. This is the giveaway show. We are coming up on episode number 100 in 2 weeks, so we're looking forward to having y'all with us. From me and the rest of the panel for the night, a big shout out to each and every one of you. A thank you, and we hope you have a great night. We'll see you next time.
You're welcome, Carlos.
Remember, guys, 2 more issues to try.